Right, boys, question 30 was looking at, in 2011, Cadel Evans won the Tour de France Road Cycling World Championships. How would the principles of training have aided his performance? And again, I've put in red here some of the key elements that we need to make sure we include in this answer. So first of all, we're talking about Cadel Evans. He's the cyclist, so he's going to be the basis of our examples. Because he's a cyclist, it's obviously road cycling, so our examples have to be based on road cycling with Cadel Evans. And we must include the principles of training and how they've aided the performance. We go and have a look at our syllabus. There's our principles of training dot point is there. We need to include these 6 areas. So while we're here, we can look at our sample. So first of all, first thing I notice is I like the fact that this student's got the 6 areas written up the top. Shows to me that he knows the dot point. It's really good. Progressive overload, straight into it. So there's no need in your answer to go, there are 6 principles of training that need to be included and list them all after each other. It's just a waste of space and time. This student's answer here, straight into it. Progressive overload would have aided Cadel Evans by continuously placing more load on his body to ensure he doesn't adapt and remain at the same level. He's then emphasised in decreasing that set time, allowing him to go harder and improve. Because he's talking about Cadel Evans and cycling, that's incorporating progressive overload into his example as well. Specificity would have aided Cadel by only doing exercises suited to cycling by performing leg muscle building exercises. Cadel builds leg strength to aid power to each push, which would benefit his performance. Again, the key elements of the question. Variety, such as setting up a task, would aid Cadel in maintaining positivity and effort and prepares him for the vast environments of the Tour de France. An example, this would include getting him out to the gym. Reversibility, this is one we want to talk about that we don't want to happen. So reversibility would have aided Cadel to maintain his fitness levels and not lose his progressions that he's already made. By training regularly, he's going to improve performance. He then talks about training thresholds. Cadel would have sustained energy and continued his effort. Example would include making Cadel sprint at different intervals to build up his anaerobic threshold while maintaining his aerobic threshold of 80%. He's even included the heart rate zone in there, which is something he needs to aim for. Warm up and cool down would see Cadel warm up the legs before the tour to reduce the risk of injury. A warm down would see the elimination of lactic acid and prevents sore and stiff muscles. This could include a warm down or a warm up on a machine or a bike and a walk after his exercise or his event. So again, if you look at what the student's done, he's gone through and he's covered all 6 areas. I really like the way he set it out in terms of his straight into his answer. Progressive overload, specificity, variety, reversibility, training thresholds, warm up and cool down. They're all included. He's got examples to go with it specific to Cadel Evans, which is why this was a very good answer. My concern was students were unable to include all the dot points. That was one issue that students had. You need to give examples or at least make mention of Cadel Evans in each of the areas and what he would have done to help him back to improving his performance. The number of boys that would have only covered 3 of these areas, 3 from the syllabus, that was the big issue for me. You need to, for an 8-mark question, you've got to be covering all areas of the syllabus, especially when you know that the question's talking about the principles of training, so you've got all these to include. They didn't ask for 3, they didn't say, progressive overload, it was principles of training. So all of them need to be included.